Hey, what's happening, my friends? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, my friends. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule, your busy schedule, for tuning in just 1 hour, just 1 hour of the Arrington Gavin Show. For those who binge watch our program or listen to our program, look, I want to thank you so much for your support. Keep that momentum going. Please share with a friend, share with family, share with folks that you know are in need. It's just a great conversation because that's what we do here on this program. Look, we drop episodes weeknights, 5 days a week, on a slew of platforms. You can check us out on our YouTube channel at the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also check us out on our Rumble platform at the Arrington Gavin Show. You can listen to us on a variety of podcast platforms. You can listen to us on all major podcast platforms, as well as through our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out of the Metro Atlanta area, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also and wait, there's more. Look, my friends, please do me a favor. Download the Goat Verse TV app right now. If you're listening to our program right now, please go ahead, download the app. It's free. It's an awesome app. The Arrington Gavin Show is proud to be one of the premier programs on alongside a slew of premier programs. By the way, I'm in company with so many great personalities and shows up there. The Goatverse TV app is available through the App Store. You can download it on Google Play Store. You can also download it through Roku or Amazon Fire. Did I mention it was free? Yes, it is free 99. So do me a favor, support independent media, support minority-owned media as well, black media. Okay, support. But yeah, very honored to be a part of the Goatverse TV network. Actually, let me put up this graphic for those who are watching right now. You see at the bottom, it's free, available in the App Store, Google Play Store, and yes, I just truly appreciate that. Also, if you can, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Blue Sky. Follow us at X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as on Substack. Okay, we have some great programs up there, great content, and we just want to keep you up to speed and up to par with everything happening in the world today, because there is a lot of stuff happening in our world. I have been busy hopping around on the local circuit here in my hometown of the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. But of course, I've been hopping around to different platform to platform, checking out the stories of this under this new administration. Right, talking with some of my friends within the media space, friends on the right, friends on the left, friends in the middle, and it's crazy out here in these streets, y'all. It is crazy out here in these streets. Let me tell you something. On today's program, we got a lot to tap in within this hour. I will be sharing with you all my experience. I attended a recent town hall that was that hosted our senior U.S. Senator Mark Warner. He was on like a tour around the Hampton Roads area. He had two town halls, one in Virginia Beach, one in Chesapeake. And the reason behind having it in those two cities, because we have 7 cities within the Hampton Roads area, but Virginia Beach is the largest city population wise in the state of Virginia. It's one of the most lucrative and premier cities in the state of Virginia. When it comes, tourists come to visit Virginia Beach. You have the beach, you have the festivals, you have so much happening within Virginia Beach. And then you have Chesapeake. Chesapeake is the second largest city population wise, not as of a premier staple as Virginia Beach, but they're slowly but surely trying to be an up and coming. So it's the largest. You're going to get the most people in attendance there, and so he had a couple of town halls just to kind of answer some questions from irritated and constituents, right? People who are just pissed of what's happening right now. So I'll talk a little more about that later on the show. Also, if we have some time, we're going to talk a little bit of pop culture news that's happening that involves two musicians. And then you won't believe who's already talking about a possible third term. Yeah, that's right, a possible third term. God help us all. So I will talk a little bit about that later on in the program. But again, for those who are just now tuning in, you are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, your homie Arrington Gavin. Thank you so much for supporting. For those who agree with me, for those who disagree with me, I thank you, because look, I'm all about civil discourse, civil conversations. We don't always have to agree on everything, because that's the way of the world. We should not. I don't like being around people that we all agree on the same stuff. Like, ugh, I like to say I want to be around people that have the same heart, the same drive to to be better people, to be better business people, to be folks who can network and collab on things. Like that's why I like to hang around people, positive minded folks is where I like to put. And I hope you like to be around those folks as well. I hope y'all enjoyed some of our previous programs, man. I know on the not the last episode, but our 300th episode, which this is 302, our 300th episode. I had the opportunity to speak with Blazing Buckshot Bloom. I can't look. This is like the second time I'm saying his name. Blazing Buckshot Boom. I hope y'all enjoyed that conversation, and I hope y'all are gonna. I hope y'all gonna be thrilled, because I have the opportunity to have scheduled. Um, I'll be speaking with a Commonwealth attorney as well. Again, this is primary season, it's election season happening, so I'm getting in contact with a lot of state and local local elected officials. And want to keep you guys up to speed on this. Which I started doing videos explaining not just the importance of knowing your local government, but just the positions and what they mean, right? What does this position do? And so we'll be sharing a few videos on our social media platforms, so be sure to tune into those. And if they, I hope that they're helpful for you, and you can share with friends, with family. I truly appreciate that. What else I want to do? Oh, I got to shout out my Goat versus TV family, CEOP. All right, had the opportunity of being a guest on his program, Respect the Goats, where it's a monthly series where you get to talk amongst no you basically you talk of everything that's happening, kind of like a end of the month follow up of the stories that's been occurring within our media and digital space. And so I had the opportunity to talk politics on there, right? Kind of keep them up to speed. Talk about national security, the tariffs, as well as Department of possible shutting down the Department of Education, which again it has not been done, but this is what he's pursuing, is ending the Department of Education. So it's a how do I say, a damn disgrace. That's what it is. That's what it is. So yeah, man, I got to shout them out for going on that show. I had a great time, and we talked a little bit about everything. One thing about COP, man, he is, but we kind of we have similar traits, right? We like to be controversial. We are extremely opinionated, right? He's one half of the prolific and iconic show Goat Talk Live. Hosted by himself, CEOP, as well as Double XL. And so, great platform. You can watch it on the Goatverse TV app. That's why y'all have to download, because I'm telling you, these shows are so good. You got relationship goats. You got Goat Talk Live. You got Bare Naked Truth. All right. You got so much great program. And then you got me. You got me. So you gotta check this out. You gotta download the app. Please, please, please download the app. All right, my friends. Let's get it going. I'm going kind of past my time. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do here? Let me go ahead and start off with our fun fact of the day before we head into a commercial break. Let me go ahead and bring that on. So, on today's fun fact, did you know that NBA Hall of Famer, entrepreneur, actor, platinum selling artist. I mean, all around just successful, iconic individual. Shaquille O'Neal only made one 3-pointer in his entire NBA career. Did you guys know that? Now I know Shaq Diesel, wasn't, the best at the free throw line. That I do know. But 1-3, which look, he was a center. How many centers do you see shooting threes on a regular? That's weird. Now, obviously, the game has changed because you got guys like Kristaps Porzingis, a 3-point machine. Okay, he's 7-1 shooting from the three. He can do it all, right? But yeah, Shaq was like the one of the OG, I would say, like true centers, right? And so yeah, in his 19-year career, 19 years in the NBA, Shaq only made 1 3-point shot, 1 3-pointer. I think that's quite interesting. Shaq is one of the man. That guy is everywhere. By the way, you're talking about business legend. He's the most marketable individual out there. So yeah, shout out to Shaq. Let's see here. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got a lot more show for you. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere, my friends.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, that's that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
That's right, my friends. Rugged is a new smooth. And don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. Okay, I'm sorry. Calm down, Arrington. Calm down. Chill. All right. Let's get it going with some of our stories, some of our headlines happening. Look, this is a story that I'm not happy of sharing, but it's just, hey, you got to share it, right? You got to share it. So let me go ahead and pull up the graphic for you all. I don't know if you would consider him R&B, reggae. Well, I'll just break it down like this. So rapper Sean Kingston and his mother were recently found guilty on all counts in their federal wire fraud trial, which happened in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, I spoke about this on another podcast that I co-host with some friends called In Your City, which you should check out as well. It's available on all podcast platforms, YouTube as well. Follow them on IG. I host that with my homie, comedian Ciroc Fox, as well as the hustle queen, Miss Michelle Young. And we had spoke about this. This was years and years ago when they were first arrested on this, which was extremely, it's sad because literally you and your mom are getting locked up at the same time, right? And you also want to ask, like, why the hell would y'all do it? Like, you're famous, dude. You're not hurting. I won't say hurting for cash. I don't know the man's finances, but he's a popular guy. Nowadays, entertainers, man, if you're not even performing on stage, you can get paid, say, guest appearances at nightclubs, this and that and the other. Like, there's always ways to make some dough. Trust me, there's always some ways to make some dough. But recently, Sean Kingston and his mother Janice Turner were found guilty on 5 counts of federal wire fraud charges. His mom was taken into custody following the verdict, while Sean cried and told agents to protect my mother, according to WPLG Local 10 News. Now, meanwhile, the beautiful girls, remember that song? No way to beautiful. Remember that one? He was placed under house arrest until his sentencing set for July 11. Now, the mother and son were convicted of defrauding businesses out of over $1 million by using fake wire transfer receipts to obtain luxury goods, including a $160,000 Cadillac Escalade and $480,000 worth of jewelry. Each federal fraud charge carries a potential sentence of 20 years in prison. Each sentence, 5 of them, 5 of those sentences, each of them 20 years. Jeez Louise. I mean, y'all, I talk about it a lot, man. Greed. And then it's on top of that, it's like, okay, when you do it the first time, you're like, oh, I felt so bad, but I haven't got caught yet. Then it becomes an addiction. Then it becomes a drug. Because like getting away with something, cheating the system, everybody does it, right? But, this is me because I love watching a lot of like mafia movies, right? Gangster movies. What do they do? What do they say? They tell why. How come the head leader or the old school guy that's been doing it for years, he don't ever get caught, right? He's been doing it for years. You know why? Because they know when their limit is. They're like, okay, that's good. Don't go overboard. You get them rookies that be like, oh, no, I got to keep on going. Let me just keep on just one more. And then that last one that they say, that's going to be their last one, they get caught. I think in this case, for one, I want to know who's the ringleader. I want to know who was the ringleader, who started doing this stuff. Because again, Sean Kingston was a celebrity already. Why was he cheating folks out of money? Like, come on. And then the mom's doing it too. Like, it's disgusting. Says here that in addition to the jewelries and the businesses, let's see, they were accused of defrauding a luxury bed company, a used luxury and exotic car dealership. So that explains the Escalade. They already said jewelry business, a luxury micro LED TV company. The jury delivered the convictions after 3.5 hours of deliberation. Kingston, who's 34 years old, was ordered to be, obviously I mentioned, house arrest. He must post a surety bond of a home valued at $500,000 and $500,000 and $200,000 in cash, according to courts. Now, his mom, who's 61, was remanded in federal custody, where she was ordered to remain until the sentencing. Let's see. Kingston and his mother dabbed away tears. Kingston was arrested in Fort Irwin, California in May on a warrant issued by a Broward County Sheriff's Office in Florida after a SWAT team, you hear me, a SWAT team raided his home in Southwest Ranches, a community in Broward. Oh boy. Let's see. Federal jury indicted the pair in 2024. I'm looking here. His mother indictment said often followed up to ensure delivery dates and other details payments when they made via fraudulent and worthless wire transfers. The criminal complaint said while the items were retained by Kingston. Let's see. The defense attorney has said during closing arguments that she was trying to protect her son from people after his money, and she had suspicion about a TV installer. 2 jewelers and car dealerships mentioned. That's bull. Like, don't give me that crap. I was trying to protect my son. How? Explain. If you said somebody was taking your stuff, so that means you got to do the same thing. You want to take other people's stuff? That don't make any kind of sense. Any kind of sense. This case, it says, I quote, it says, this case is about a woman's intuition. Well, guess what? The intuition said that you effed up and now you got to go to jail. Like, give me a break. Your intuition. How long have y'all been doing this? Your intuition told you to, let's see, defrauding businesses over $1 million by using fake wire transfer receipts. Okay, so your intuition said we gonna lie to folks and get this $160,000 Cadillac Escalade. My intuition is telling me that I can let me just take all this stuff and do some fake wire transfers for $480,000 worth of jewelry. I'm still confused here how she's protecting her son now. I don't know if this is a case of you had the wrong people handling your funds and now y'all both got to serve the consequences. Because you do have those overprotective folks that's like, y'all might about to steal my baby money. I got this. Mama got this. Woo. Says here, after the judge said he wanted to speak his truth, telling the judge he wanted to speak his truth early in the proceedings, Kingston changed course, ultimately deciding not to testify. Huh. That was smart. Okay, that was smart. Says here, Kingston was allowed to post bond and remain out of jail until his sentencing, partly because he made the decision to remain silent, the federal judge said in court. Now, let me see anything that can really explain like why, because they're saying, okay, a woman's intuition. That's like, I mean, that's, to me, that's not a saving statement. That's not something to tell jurors like, maybe we were a little harsh. Maybe she is telling the truth. Nope. He said her testimony makes it impossible to believe she wouldn't do anything for her son. I mean, this is just, I started off by saying this is sad because it's a mother. No, and I'm a mama's boy, right? I'm speaking from a mama's boy. You can't. It's nothing. It's no love like a mother. Love between a mother and a son. That's something that's like you can never break up. Now the fact of the matter is, like, they're both guilty. They're both in the wrong of what they did. I as I mentioned, I don't know who started this whole thing. A little bit of me want to say that mama started and then got her son involved, and now it's like they both effed up. That's what the back of my head is saying. Just to kind of give you a little background on Sean Kingston, y'all. At 17 years old, his hit Beautiful Girls, wow, I did not know it was that long ago. Beautiful Girls was released in 2007. Damn, I did not know that. At 17 years old, then it quickly topped Billboard's Top 100 and stayed there for 4 weeks. The single showcased Kingston's hybrid sing-song rapping, part of a Jamaican tradition that underlines the origins of hip-hop over the musical track of Stand By Me by Benny King. That video surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube in 2022. Oh, you know that boy was paid. Now I remember years back he was in a bad boating accident, which kind of put him down for a while. Then he returned and he was, came back bigger than ever, all that stuff. Not really any hits, but still performing. People were still, fans of him and supporting and all that good stuff. But I mean, this right here, I mean, this is your legacy, bro. Like, he's still young. He's 34 years old. I hope and pray that, they can learn from this. Maybe, while being locked up, they might be released early and not have to serve their full term. We don't fully know how long the term will be. They're just saying potential sentence in these cases is 20 years for each of crime, and they're found guilty on all 5 counts. So I don't know, somebody gonna be in there for quite a while. Woo! I tell you, man, people, y'all gotta do better, y'all. Y'all gotta do better. Y'all have all that success. Y'all gotta do better. Let me go ahead and digress from this story. Let's see here. Let's see here. What next? Let me stay in the pop culture realm for a split second. I'm looking good with time. Okay, so I don't know if you heard about this, but country artist Morgan Wallen. I don't know any of his songs. All I know is that this is a guy that's quite the head case. He's always getting himself into some trouble. He's been he I think I started knowing who the hell he was because the man accidentally slipped in and said the N-word in one or two occasions, and he was trying to be all apologetic. He was on this apology tour, talking with talking with folks of the the black community. Hey, he stands by me. I've earned his respect. This and any other, typical white people trying to tell you, look, this is not me. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. But so Morgan Wallen is a very popular country singer. As I mentioned, he's kind of a head case. The last incident before what I'm about to speak now, the last incident, he was caught throwing chairs over a roof or from the roof to like just Nashville or to the streets. Like it was just doing stupid stuff. And he was charged. He was found guilty, obviously. And so here's a clip of and it's no volume to it, but he was recently performing on SNL, Saturday Night Live. And so at the end of Saturday Night Live, and this is a regular tradition, you have your host usually give the send off and say, all right, thank you guys, thank you, I hope you had a wonderful time, thank you, I'm such and such, I had a wonderful time hosting, and I want to give it up to the cast, to our performers, do this and that. And so you normally stay up there and the band plays them out with some good music. And I want to say it might be the same like kind of outro song, if I'm not mistaken. I don't watch SNL as regularly as I used to, but it will always show like the cast members embracing each other, like, hey, we did it, we long week, we did a good job. And the performer and the host stays on there and stuff. So it's a tradition. But this joker just abruptly he bounced. He said deuces. Like after she thanked everybody, he hugged her, the host, and I don't know the host name if I can. Okay, the host name is Mickey Madison. I don't really know who Mickey Madison is. I think she's a actress. I think she's the person who's recently played in like the live action of Snow White. I think. Don't get me quoting on that. I just she looks like the person that was playing her. But let me go ahead and see if I can share this thing real quick with y'all. That's my country accent. I felt like this is very on brand to me to talk country, because I'm talking about a country singer, country artist, Morgan Wallen. Let's go see if I can pull this bad boy up here. All right, so excuse me. For those who are listening, sorry, you're not going to be able to see it, but I can, obviously I'll explain it. But for those who are watching, all right, check this out. So I don't have the volume on this because the background music, hey, I ain't trying to pay nobody no extra fines or anything. So that's, you see them, hey, clapping up, all that good stuff. He gives her a hug, and then he just, boom, he's out of here. It leaves, like, just bounce. And it's so awkward. And then what made it even more awkward was the fact that what made it more awkward was his post. So let me move this on. So his Instagram story, he said, "Get me to God's country," and he shows a picture of a private jet, obviously about to take him back to where he's at, Nashville. I'm assuming that because that's like the country capital of the world, where every country artist is living at. But not just the country capital. That's like the conservative capital now. Every conservative is like saying, I'm going to Nashville. I'm moving to Nashville. I'm moving to a red state. It's either Nashville or anywhere in Texas. I'm moving to Tennessee or I'm moving to Texas. That's literally where you have Hollywood and Silicon Valley and all the folks. They come to either Texas, or a lot of the conservative networks are bringing it to Tennessee or Florida. Can't forget Florida. But he says, get me back to God's country. And so let me bring up just, I mentioned a background about him. Now, no mean to bring up the man's past, but 2016 arrested for DUI, 2020 arrested for disorderly conduct, 2021 viral video of him using the N-word, 2024, reckless endangerment, as I mentioned, throwing a chair off the roof while drunk. All right, he got a little what they quote unquote got white boy wasted. the man threw a chair over a freaking roof. All right. And then in 2025, boom, you got this. Rushes off to SNL. And it's just it's very interesting. Hold on, let me go ahead and take this graphic. The reason why it's interesting is because everybody's asking, what did he mean by heading back to God's country? And honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't really care less on this. I really did not. What got me was they end up interviewing Kenan Thompson, who Kenan Thompson is one of the longest cast members, longest tenured SNL cast members of all times. Like, I think he's been up there for more than almost 13 years now. I remember Kenan Thompson from Kenan and Kel, Good Burger. That was my childhood. That's where I remember him from. But he's been an iconic figure on SNL. I mean, really, if without Kenan and Kel, I would not be watching SNL. I'm totally honest. I would not be watching Saturday Night Live if it wasn't for or not wouldn't be, but I wouldn't still be watching SNL if it wasn't for Kenan Thompson, because there were moments where you had a iconic cast. I mean, you had Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, you had Jimmy Fallon still up there, you had Andy Samberg, you had so many people up there, Jason Sudeikis. You had a great cast of folks. Now you really just got, I mean, you still got a great cast. I'm not ripping their talent, but it's a hard to adjust. They're just not the same. Just not the same. But as I mentioned, Kenan Thompson's still up there. So Kenan calls Morgan Wallen's SNL early exit spike in the norm. It's just felt so abrupt because no one's done that in the history. No one. And so folks were saying, was he frustrated? Did something piss him off? Like, why did he leave and just bounce like that? Like, what's the deal, Morgan? You got some explaining to do, buddy. Like, why'd you leave? Of course, no words. All he did is supposed to get me back to God's country. So here's why the idea can come. So Morgan, as I mentioned, Morgan lives in the red state. Saturday Night Live is held in New York City, one of the most liberal, not just liberal state, but liberal city in the world. It's New York City. Lights, camera, action, the city that never sleeps, liberal arts galore. You have theater, film, everything in New York City. New York City is one of the cities that are heavily joked and criticized by the right. And so now you got Morgan Wallen saying, get me back to God's country. I tell you, when I was driving today, I just have random thoughts. I'm like, why in the hell does the Republican Party and like the conservative, just strong conservatives, why do they act like they are just so close to the Lord? Like they know him, by just touching him. Like that's how close they are. Like they just know his calling card. Their neighbors with. Like I just hate when they pull and use a religion as a reason why you should be a Republican. Like all Republicans are, like all people, if you are a Christian, then you must be Republican. You must be conservative. If you know the Lord, if you are a man of faith or a woman of faith, you know Jesus is a conservative. He voted for Donald J. Trump. Like, I mean, it just really, it really irritates me because they get so holy. They're so holy, so holy. Okay, let me get to you this. This is a article reported by Entertainment Weekly. Yes, Kenan Thompson says he's just as puzzled as anyone about why Morgan Wallen rushed off on the SNL stage at the end of the last episode, only saying goodbye to the hosts. I quote, it says here that I don't know what goes through people's minds when they decide to do stuff like that. I don't know if he understood the assignment or not, or if he was really feeling a certain kind of way. He also said he confirms he definitely saw it when the musical guest prematurely departed. He said, you see somebody before you get a chance to say hi or say good job or anything like that, they just dipping He recalls. He said, "I thought maybe he had to go to the to the potty or something." Oh gosh, that's funny. He went on to then say, "It's definitely a spike in the norm. We're so used to everybody just turning around and high fiving us. Everybody saying good job, good job, good job. So when there's a departure from that, it's like, I wonder what's that about." Like everybody else. He says, Keenan Thompson says they never met Wallen during the most of the recent episode or back when the country star first performed as a musical guest in December of 2020, when came after an earlier SNL debut was canceled due to Wallen's breaking COVID-19 protocols. He then went on to say, seems like a complicated individual, I guess, noting that it's not the first time a musical guest has suddenly left. See, I did not know that. It says here that the one and only Prince did the same thing. What? Prince? That doesn't seem like something Prince would do, but it's true. It says here that Prince did the same thing. He says, clarifying, I'm not saying Morgan Wallen is Prince, but we weren't surprised because Prince was notoriously kind of standoffish. It's just how he was. So we just thought, like, okay, now he's going back in Fantasyland or going back into Fantasyland. He continues to say, but Saturday, I guess it was just different because it's just felt so abrupt. And it was abrupt. It was already such a small grouping on the stage anyway. So it was just like, oh, wow, that was pretty visible. What I'm saying is it was a pretty visible thing. Yeah, guys, I really, I don't know what else to say. People are all gonna have their take on it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I just think it's interesting the fact that he, with the post. What does he mean by get me back to God's country? Maybe he just loves his home so much he calls it God's country. I really don't know. But hey, one thing about Morgan Wallen is he is a man of interesting things that occur in his life. You don't know what's going on in that Joker's mind. But let me go ahead and digress from that. Look, my friends, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. I'm gonna take a quick breather. We're gonna be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We got a lot more show for you. Welcome back, my friends, to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, your homie, Arrington Gavin. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right. Next up on the chopping block, as I mentioned earlier in the show, U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Virginia U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Democratic, member of the Democratic Party. He was in the Hampton Roads area doing a few, just few follow-ups. Let's say that follow-ups. He hosted 2 town halls, all in one day. One at 10 a.m. That was held in Virginia Beach, and then another one at 12:30. Yes, 12:30. Held in Chesapeake. For one, wow, you do 2 town halls in one day is a lot, by the way. I feel like some of our local elected officials might do a town hall weekly or here and there. But yeah, 2 town halls. But he was in the Hampton Roads area. They titled it Community Conversations, and he was in town to really just talk with his constituents about this new administration, right? So here in the Hampton Roads area, we are a military town. It is majority of folks are federal workers. They either work for the state, they work for the government, work in the healthcare field. It's just it's big, but it's small at the same time, right? We have so many military bases, Navy, Coast Guard, um, so many. We have one of the largest naval bases held in Norfolk, Virginia. And so this reported by Wavy TV 10, um, and it talks about Senator Warner hosted the two community conversation town halls. The first town hall, as I mentioned, was in Virginia Beach, and it was also he was joined with a good buddy of mine, State Delegate Michael Figgins, as well as local school board members and city officials. He then went on to go to Chesapeake, where he was joined with Delegate Cliff Hayes, another buddy, as well as Senator Louise Lucas, who is probably, I would say, the second most powerful woman in the state of Virginia. She's been a senator for quite some time, and also had my good friend, Delegate Bonita Anthony, was also joined on that stage. And so let me go ahead and play you a soundbite of Senator Mark Warner, just talking about his the mission and his reaction of talking with folks. Let me see if I can find that clip for you all, and then I'll share you my take after attending one of those town halls.
Today, at about 1,500 people at two town halls here in Hampton Roads. And people are pissed. They're angry at a government that treats our national security secrets with total sloppiness. They're angry at an Elon Musk that nobody elected to anything and the damage he's doing. They're angry, frankly, at the idea that Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare could all be under assault. And they're angry as well, the fact that even on national security, the Republicans stay silent. Are they ever going to find their voices? So we need to keep that anger, turn it into energy, increase the size of the crowds, stand up, speak out, turn out, deal with this at the local level. Let's get local elected Republicans to acknowledge the pain their community is feeling. Let's make sure at the national level that we don't put our national security in more harm's way. I got a hell of a lot of fight left in me, and the energy I saw today gives me energy to go back on Monday and keep this fight going.
So you heard that right there from Senator Mark Warner. And let me go ahead and minimize that right there. So what he's telling, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. There were a lot of very pissed off constituents, individuals who are frustrated, right? Because there's so much at stake. And like the senator mentioned, sloppiness is being done within this administration, especially when it involves national security. Let's not forget it's now called Signal Gate. You know, the whole Signal chat that involved conversations of war plans amongst members of this Trump administration. Oh, and then they accidentally just bring on a reporter from the Atlantic that they actually dislike. Like, how the hell does that happen? How the reporter's like, are they like, he was completely shocked. They accidentally brought in a journalist to a classified private chat, so-called private chat, because they're being sloppy. And as I mentioned many times on this program, that's what you get for bringing on unqualified individuals. So now you got that. You got tariffs, right? Job loss at an all-time high. Prices are going up. They're not decreasing. And see, with all these tariffs, even folks on the right, folks on the left, they're not too keen with that. They're like, whoa, do it piece by piece, but not so aggressively. No, they're just gonna do it aggressively. And then you got Elon Musk in charge, Don't say he's not in charge. The man literally had a bunch of Teslas on the front on the front lawn, front the driveway of the White House while Trump was doing a commercial for his cars. Like, give me a break. What kind of administration is this? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And what's even more ridiculous is the fact that GOP members cannot stick up or grow a backbone of their own and say, hey, look, this is affecting my constituents in my areas. Can we try to, lower this down? Can we try a different solution? I mean, it's hot garbage. The whole Doge thing, yes, we agree that there is wasteful spending that is involved. And yes, you should check into that, but it's a different way to do so. You can't just flat out just fire everybody, let people go. You're talking about shutting down the freaking Department of Education, and there's so many schools now that's feeling effects from that. Look, it was a university, and I'll talk about it a little on maybe on the next program. But there's universities that literally had to shut down their whole sports department because they had to cut costs because they can't afford it. So I'm thinking it's really, I didn't even think about the universities that it would affect, because I'm like, okay, there's so many schools in inner cities that can't afford this, can't afford that. That government funding would really, really help them. But no, we just want to put it in with the states. Well, guess what? What if the states doesn't have the funds for that? What if the states doesn't have the funding? The government is supposed to make sure that all their states involved in the United States is taken care of. So you put in the state's hands. To me, is like, well, how does the states feel? How does state elected officials feel about that? Oh, I'll just give it to the states. They'll handle it. I'll give it to the state. So damn it, what's the job of the higher office then? What are y'all doing? Y'all trying to lessen the load on y'all to what? Like, it's just put in the states. Women's reproductive rights, put in the states. All right, the states. Y'all, I can't make this up. These are some images from the town halls that Senator Mark Warner attended. I mean, you see massive crowds of folks in attendance. What's interesting was, I don't know if y'all can kind of see, but it was a lot of, you saw older Caucasian folks. You had some mixtures of black folks there. I didn't see a lot of young people, but it's because, okay, Medicaid, Medicare, veterans, retired veterans, like, it's hurting them the most right now. Of course, it's putting effects to young people. This is one that was held in the Chesapeake. This is actually when I had the opportunity to attend. I witnessed frustration out the what. People are saying, what are you going to do about it? What are the Democrats going to do about it? And see, here's the thing. Why I'm frustrated with the Democrats, because y'all could be coming together, thinking of a solution, as working as a team. I'm not talking about having, because y'all have issues within your own party. That needs to end. Y'all over here criticizing Bernie Sanders, independent, by the way, independent U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders, and you're criticizing Democratic Congresswoman AOC for doing these tours, getting young people, getting a lot of folks riled up. That's what you're supposed to do. And you're saying, we got to have a better solution on this. We got to have, man, those folks right there is the ones you need to be questioning, because look, there are folks that are elected officials that might have a R in front of their name that might not even be a Republican. There's folks with a D in front of their name that might even be Democrats. That's why, for me, man, I'm tired of all the BS. That's why I ride in the middle, because there's folks out there that really don't look for their own party's best interests. They're like, oh snap, I gotta look this. I can do. I mean, it's just it's insane, man. It's insane. But yeah, I spoke with individuals while I was there. I had the opportunity to speak with some of the elected officials, and obviously they're just, they're standing behind Senator Warner, as far as, like, the fight. We're gonna continue to fight. We're gonna continue to fight. But in all honesty, I'm like, well, how can you do so when you don't have the majority? Now, obviously, they're doing this for a reason, because they have elections, they have primaries that happen. They're trying so hard to gain back at least Congress or the Senate. Hopefully that can happen, because right now is one side that's really trying to help the majority. There's in my opinion, there's is you literally have a guy that is contemplating on, which I'm looking at my time, contemplating on a third term. I'll talk a little about that just in a second. You have a guy where he's literally giving all the access to a billionaire who has absolutely no political history. He just happens to be a billionaire. And don't get me wrong, in order to get to be the richest man in the world, you have to be a very intelligent guy. But sometimes even the most intelligent doesn't have the best interest for the majority, or not even that, but they just don't have common sense. Not everybody is blessed with common sense. Elon is a guy that is always going to be what's best for him, in my opinion. The way he makes posts on Twitter is very childlike, right? You got two big kids. You got him, you got Donald Trump. You got folks in the Trump administration that's never going to speak against, in the words of the congressman out of Florida, Byron Donald, daddy's back. He calls him daddy. All right. To me, that's another story of its own. Yikes. All right. Calling another grown man daddy. Yeek. So it's very upsetting. But as I mentioned, it wasn't anything new when I attended this rally. Frustrated people, they gave, obviously they gave Senator Warner the platform to speak. They did not try to interfere with his speech, because people are sitting back. Because look, it was one election. This was the whole Gaza thing happening, in Free Palestine and whatnot. Like, I was in attendance at conservative town halls, and then I was at liberal town halls. Each of them had protesters speaking like, are you gonna say this? Are you gonna say that? And they will sneak in there, and then they'll get to talking and whatnot. I didn't see that happen here. People sat back. They listened. When it was time for them to speak, they spoke. But then at the end, you had a standing ovation saying, "You got this. You got this. Keep fighting. Keep fighting." And it was unfortunate seeing a lot of elderly folks, black, white, Hispanic, of all nationalities. I guarantee you that whole room was not all Democrats. I guarantee you that room was not all Republicans. It was a variety of people coming together. It was a variety of folks coming together. I'll continue to follow up more with this on with these town halls and just folks that was there. I'll hopefully get a couple of folks that was in attendance there to get their take, get their side on it. But as I digress from this story, I want to talk about this crazy story I read recently, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. As much as people always like to speak to it in existence, and I looking at my time, I might gotta continue this on the next one, but apparently Donald Trump is, he's not he is not what's the word I'm looking for, avoiding a possible third term. A lot of folks that said, well, why don't you should run for a third. He literally won't rule out a third term. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? I'm looking at my time. I will continue this on the next show, but let me at least pull up this for you, just to have a little graphic while I discuss this in the short time that we have left. Donald Trump is a man of many surprises, and he's a very annoying individual, in my opinion. A third term, which has never been done ever, is ridiculous. And see, so many folks were saying, I'm telling you, this man's a dictator. Is he ever going to want to leave the White House, this and the other? And folks like, oh, come on, he's just joking. He's joking now. You see it right here. So it says here that Trump, this report by NBC News, Trump won't rule out seeking a third term in the White House. Tells NBC there are methods for doing so. Recently, Donald Trump did not rule out the third term, which prohibits by the Constitution under the 22nd Amendment, saying in exclusive interview with NBC News that there were methods for doing so and clarifying that he was not joking. All right, the man's not joking. Now, a lot of people he says, a lot of people want me to do it. I don't know a lot of people, maybe a lot of crazy people, most likely, but I don't know a lot of people. Referring to Sunday morning phone call referring to that. Okay, but he says this, but I mean, I basically tell them we have a long way to go. It's very early in the administration. We have close to 4 years left. We have a long time before that occurs. But here's my thing. You know that you can't do it. You know that. He's saying, well, we have looked into it. There are some ways to clarify that it could be done if so. But it's we have a long time before that actually occurs. Just right now, we just want to focus on this term and this and that and yada yada yada. Y'all, I'm sorry, but once again, for all you supporters out there that says, well, he's just joking. He says this. The man just said he's not joking. So then is he lying? Are you calling your guy out? Like, he's annoying. Why? And he loves power. He's doing this for power. That's all he's doing. He loves the power. He loves the platform. This is his king role. This is the role that he's always wanted to hold. And listen, the 22nd Amendment, real quick before I leave, says president term limits are enshrined in the Constitution, which was ratified in 1954, says no person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. Now, I'll continue this on the next show, but I just wanted to kind of keep that in your brain, install that in your mind right now, and keep this country in prayer, because once again, this guy is not a serious leader. He's not a person that's leading the country. He's not a person that's trying to unite the country together. Unite? Give me a break. Are you kidding me? What is there unity that's ever been involved under this new administration? Is no unity whatsoever. As much as I want to see him do good, because look, any effects within his administration is going to affect us, the American people. So obviously I want the man to have a good term. I'm not just that person wishing, I hope he has a bad term. No, because if he do bad, guess what? We gonna F around and find out. Okay? We always hear that F around and find out. No, we go F around and find out. So, y'all, as I mentioned before, we just have to put this in prayer. We have to put this in prayer. I will continue to share all the deets that I can get hands on and access to. I'm gonna get, of course, I'm gonna bring on the experts, because I myself, look, I just voiced my opinion, and I'm happy that y'all, I hope y'all listening to my opinion. I hope y'all let's talk amongst each other. Look, leave us a comment. If you're watching this video right now, leave us a comment on our podcast platforms, or contact me through our social media platforms. Give me your give me your takes, give me your thoughts. What's your take on this new administration? What's your take on a possible third term for the president? Give me your takes. We'll share a little more about it on the next show. Look, my friends, it's about that time. Thank you so much for tuning to the Arrington Gavin Show. You know how to continue to tune into us. Weeknights available on all digital and streaming platforms. Please download the GOATverse TV app today. It's free, available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. Peace and blessings.